Yeah, my hair look kind of crazy, but yeah, what's good, man? Happy Tuesday, y'all. What's good? What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good, man? I hope everybody's having a beautiful Tuesday, man. How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for coming in, man. Thank you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. And welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera Show, where we talk about basketball, sports, and any topic that comes our way as accurate as possible. Now, today, we are going to have another shorter episode than usual. Like I already told you guys, this is a unique kind of week right now for us, but it's going to be a little bit of a quick show. We're going to be going over the Jalen Brunson contract. I purposely didn't go over it yesterday because I do have some things to say, and how that affects the New York Knicks' culture moving forward. We'll also be talking about LeBron James's impact on the NBA that I don't think he's ever really gotten credit for, especially in the GOAT debate, right? It's this is something that I probably shouldn't even say this, but it whatever. Let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. So, first and foremost, like I was talking about just now, Jalen Brunson had signed an extension. Oh, actually, no. Let's not get into that. First and foremost, let's actually get into this first. Sorry, guys. I just want to do this. What's the term? I want to do this properly. Let's see. All right, I just wanted to get the information right. So here. It was reported today that Joe Jelly Bean Bryant, father of Kobe Bryant, had passed away at the age of 69. So, condolences out to the Bryant family. I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know that Kobe's father was still alive. I didn't know that his father had outlived. And, you've heard of things like that when it comes to, like, as a parent, you never want to outlive your child. And for who Kobe was, that had to have been tough. But he gets to go and see his son up there now, and he gets to go and hang out with him and say what's up. And that's really beautiful. So rest in peace. My condolences to the Bryant family, to the NBA world at large, man. We lost another one. And it's been just a tough year. When it comes to this, we've just so many losses, it feels like, recently, back to back. And here's another one to the list. So yeah, I just wanted to, again, my condolences. That was not the news I was expecting this to see this morning. So yeah, man, rest in peace. Now, let's switch gears. Like I said, Jalen Brunson has signed an extension with the New York Knicks. His contract was not up until next year, and he decided to forego that and sign an extension, a 4-year, $156.5 million deal, versus the deal that he was eligible for at the end of next year, which would have been a 5-year, $269 million deal. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm on the fence about this because the rumors about this was circulating beforehand, and I'm on the side of pay what you're worth. You get paid what you're worth, your value, right? And obviously he signed this, so now this is his market price, right? Regardless of that, that's how things work in when buying and selling things, right? This is his market. This is what he signed. Do I think he was worth the 269? Hell yeah. But he didn't do it. And for me, he's balled out and he's clearly the best player on this team. For me, I just want to see people get their money. You worked hard, you played hard, you've done all the right things, you've aligned yourself with the right people. You know, you're not in the news for the wrong reasons. You've done all of the right things. You have earned every dollar of that. But he wanted to be a team guy. He's looking at the bigger picture. And so from here on out, this is to any Knicks fan, this is to any other fan, there will be no Jalen Brunson slander. I don't give a fuck what you think he does. There will be no slander. He get a turnover, he get a foul, he go miss a shot. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. This man could do no wrong in my eyes. No, like 113 million. He better than me. I tell you that much right now. He is way better than me, dog. Cause there's just no way. There is absolutely, there's no way. And I understand taking a pay cut. That's all good and well. $113 million pay cut. They need to build him 2 statues, actually. They had to build him 2 statues. He needs a statue for being a great player. He needs a statue signing the contract. This is the example we all want. And rumors now is Mikal Bridges is also looking to take a pay cut for the team. I don't know if the idea is to get another player at some point, or players. But clearly they're trying to cook something up. And like I said, at this point, that amount of money, some people's contracts aren't even worth that much. And he gave it up. He's just a phenomenal human being. Like, he's done everything right. Everything. He's done everything right. When players have gone down, all the way back to Dallas. When Luka gone down, he balled out. When Luka was there, he played his role. The Knicks, every situation, always says the right thing. This man can do no wrong in my eyes. And I don't care what you gotta say, man. I don't care what you gotta say. This man can do no wrong in my eyes. Now, we were just talking about it, right? With Mikal Bridges, the domino effect that this is now having, right? Is this a bat signal to other players coming in? This is the culture that we're creating. Is there a shift in the Knicks' culture? And granted, I don't think the shift was happening just over the playoffs or this. They have been building on this. Right? This didn't happen overnight. Even, to Julius Randle's credit, he started a shift, and then it's really just with Jalen Brunson, Josh Harden, all of these guys, they've really changed what it means to be a New York Knick. And, their friendship, I think, has something to do with it. Tom Thibodeau has something to do with it. But at the end of the day, here's the thing, right? The culture, the friendship, the likability, the sacrifices, right? All of those things are great, and they have a hand in winning. But they ultimately can't dribble the basketball or shoot a shot for you. Right? We have to see how these players line up with everyone else. It looks great, and I maybe this is just my paranoid Knicks fan in me, where I got to see it, right? I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, even though it's really exciting and I like this. I know the statistic in my head when it comes to point guards being the lead guy on these championship teams. It just doesn't happen, right? And so, in this sense where Jalen Brunson takes a massive pay cut, is it so that they can go and get another star player? Randall is borderline. Mikal Bridges is borderline. He's a great player in the league. He's a really, really good player. But a star in the league, I don't know. I don't think he's that. OG, same boat. So this team really has 1 to 2-ish, 1.5 stars in a league where teams have 3 all-stars, 3 stars on their team. That's something to keep in mind, right? And maybe this is just Jalen Brunson. He obviously has a lot of confidence in himself. You could tell with the way he plays, but being someone that just knows the game of basketball, that studied this game, his dad taught him. His dad was in the NBA. I'm sure Jalen Brunson's pool of knowledge on the game of basketball is very deep. And maybe he understands that that's a part of this. That a small point guard oftentimes doesn't get you all the way over the mountaintop. They could get you close. Right? Size really is a factor in the NBA as much as people want to deny it. And like I said, this is a stepping stone. Maybe if they can land another player, holy shit. But I do think that we're stepping in the right direction. I think some folks might expect certain things out of Mikal and OG and Julius, and then they'll be upset when they fall short, when they've never been stars in this league. Jalen Brunson is a star in this league. So if we're to go by that ratio compared to these other teams, we have 1 star. So, maybe that's what this is about, right? But I do, like I said, I do love where we're trending as a Knicks team. And this guy deserves a statue now. He deserves a statue right now. And this brings me to this, right? Because people talk about contracts all the time, right? People want to talk about the money that these players make. And the question is basketball still for the love of the game or not? Is Jalen Brunson the last of his kind where he just wants to hoop? Everything else don't really matter. I know Kevin Durant was talking yesterday about how long are you going to play basketball? Reporters were asking him how long he's going to be playing basketball for. What role would he take a diminished role? He basically said he's going to play until the wheels fall off, regardless of the role. And he's another player that I've always thought just loves to play basketball. It's just a hooper, right? And I think it's very easy for us as fans to look at these guys and say, "Oh, you're a millionaire. You got all this money. You're good." Right? Jalen Brunson just took a $113 million pay cut. Let me say that again. Jalen Brunson took a $113 million pay cut. Everyone wants to talk about, the players. What are you going to, how much money do you need? How about their families? How about the life that they've afforded their families? Anyone that's lived life knows what it feels like to level up in the amount of money that you're making financially. And imagine what your life would look like if you had to scale back. if you were a person that was making 100K a year to a person that's making, all of a sudden the next year you're making 60K a year? How drastic would your life change? I was talking about this with Russell Westbrook. I get it. Nobody's going to feel bad for him. He's a millionaire. But someone that was making $20-30 million a year to $4 million a year, like, what do his mortgages look like? What do his car payment like? How does that work? That, you know what I'm saying? And to an extent, obviously these guys are trying to protect themselves, because something happens in an injury for Jalen Brunson, for example, that additional 100+ million, let's say 80 million, he still took a pay cut. That's still massive for your family, especially when you played well and have earned it. Right? Regardless of what we think this person is worth, or they have rules in place under the salary cap percentages that says this player is worth this much. If you earned that, then you earned that. And then fans always want to turn around and say, take a pay cut. So why the fuck did he score 40 points a game, 30 points a game? He could have got the same amount of money scoring 22 a game. Why did he put in that extra effort, go to the gym, all those? For what? And ultimately, we've talked about this in the NBA. Only a few teams win each decade. So the moves that they're making, the Knicks are making, are phenomenal, but it doesn't guarantee anything. That 113 for your family would have been guaranteed. I guess I just look at it a little bit differently. I try to see it from both perspectives, right? If somebody plays for the love of the game, stays in this, imagine a player for the love, stays in the city, keeps going, grinding, never wins a championship. What do people call him at the end of his career? He's a loser. Oh, you're not a champion. Because the further you get away from their career, the less you remember certain aspects. And now it's just the narrative, oh, you're just not a champion, you suck. But guess what don't change? The money that they made. You got Michael Jordan, who is widely known as the greatest basketball player ever. 6 NBA championships. And there's a motherfucker saying he's stat padding, or he got no, like, the only thing that they could do is try to get their family right. Like, it just is what it is, right? It just is what it is, man. But I think we're obviously in a different time, a different space. The money in the NBA is totally different than what it used to be. The opportunities for these players are different than it used to be. But yeah, man. Yeah. This, obviously, the move that Brunson made was, I don't know a lot of people that would have made that move. Even those guys in them comments. I don't know a lot of people that would have made that same move if you were in that position. So I just always keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to start this conversation because I do think it's important. I know a lot of, people talk about impact on the game of basketball. And a lot of people through the years have said Steph Curry has, Allen Iverson or Michael Jordan type of impact. And, for the most part, LeBron fans and even non-LeBron fans, for the most part, the consensus is LeBron hasn't really changed the game. He hasn't had that impact on the game. And I was thinking about it the other day. And I was like, shit, I think I actually think otherwise now, because, and I have this, let me see if I can pull it up really quick. Actually, I have this lengthy video on. I have this lengthy video on whatchamacallit, on bigs, on how Magic Johnson is responsible for revolutionizing and evolving the bigs in the NBA, because we see now bigs can dribble the ball, they bring the ball up, they play a little point guard, they score, they blah, 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 blah. And then LeBron James is a product of Magic Johnson. Let's just call it what it is, right? He has very Magic Johnson-like skills. And for a long time, it felt like he didn't have an impact because there's no way you can recreate 6'9", 270, can handle the ball, play point guard, and score. But what if the player doesn't exactly have to be like him? They just have to have they're really good at scoring, they're really good at passing, they're bigger than a traditional point guard, and they just have the ball all the time. They dominate the ball. And I said, oh shit. James Harden and Luka Doncic. It's not clear cut, right? It's not a clean but if you really think about it, right? I've said before, LeBron James, they used to say he was a triple-double walking in the building, and a lot of people used to wonder whether or not he could average a triple-double in a season. And ever since him, we've gotten, a Russell Westbrook and now a Jokic and even a Sabonis. And I'm not saying LeBron obviously didn't invent this shit, but he put eyes on that style of play. And now we have bigger players that are running the point guard position because they're realizing, oh, I'm big and tall. I don't just have to score if I have great vision. And I don't think LeBron has gotten enough credit for revolutionizing the point guard position, because without him, I don't know if we get a James Harden or a Luka. They might have forced them into a shooting guard, come off screens and pin downs and all that shit. Is LeBron James the one that paved the way for this? I think he got a strong case. I think he's got a strong case. For the last decade, all we've talked about is Steph Curry and Kyrie and Damian Lillard and Russell Westbrook and that crew in the golden age of point guards. When, if you really want to talk about it, in that span, you could argue that the best point guard in that entire era was LeBron James. And his quote-unquote sons being Harden and Luka. Luka could have won an MVP this year, and Harden has won it on more than one occasion. Right? Right? Let me make sure before. Oh, so he has one MVP award. Okay, so he has one MVP award. So, this style, I think we're going to see more of it, to be honest with you. And it's a product of LeBron, and we're going to see more and more players saying LeBron is their favorite player and blah, 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 because it just makes sense. it literally just makes sense. So, yeah, man, we're going to be talking a little bit more about that. I'll look a little bit deeper into it, but I do think that it's something worth noting because, like I said, Bron sometimes don't really get his credit when it comes to impact the way Jordan and Kobe have. Kobe was every player's favorite player. All the kids coming up, they talk Kobe, Kobe, Kobe. Before that, it was Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. The style that they played. I think we're coming around a time where it's Bron. These 6'8" guys that, instead of wanting to go score, Bron was their guy growing up, and we're gonna see guys making passes and still yeah, I think it's about that time. I think it's about that time. And let me see. And with that, I wanted to revisit Team USA a little bit because obviously yesterday I reacted immediately after the game without really having a chance to think about it a whole lot. It was an immediate reaction. And I was thinking, I was like, man, am I just prisoner of the moment because the numbers look 6 points? Like, am I being hard on Steve Kerr or whatnot, right? Am I just overanalyzing this? And I've said that before, right? I'm watching Gil's Arena. And obviously, just because you're a former player or a coach or a former coach or a current player doesn't mean you're always right. I do think it's worth hearing them out, right? Most of the time. And I think, Gil's Arena, they do for the amount of shit that Gilbert Arenas says, I think their crew does a great job of combating some of his claims. So when they do agree with him, it makes it more valid. And when I tell you, they saw that Team USA game the same way that I saw it, you should go check it out. It was yesterday, so it was the title on it. Let me see. Live. Gil's Arena reacts to Team USA versus Australia. So this was 20 hours ago. Excuse me. And when I say they were from they're not being dominant to Steve Kerr looks like they're experimenting with shit, everything. And like I said, I just want to push the game forward. I just want to talk hoops and talk basketball with very minimal of the outside shit that don't really got a lot to do with the game. But yeah, it just kind of leads me to think that my cause for concern is kind of valid. That's kind of where the conclusion that I got from it. And it's very possible that they clean all this shit up, get to the games, smack everybody around. But this is why there's this, is the world catching up narrative. Like, this is why, because of shit like this. But yeah, man. Yeah. So I think tomorrow they're going to be playing Serbia. So that's something to look out for. I will not be going live tomorrow. I'll see if I'm going to go live on Thursday. That's still questionable. If anything, I'll get an episode in on Friday, though. So, again, thank y'all for hanging out with me. Another quick episode today. I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, you could have been anywhere on the internet, but you were here with me, and I really, really appreciate that. So thank you guys for hanging out, man. I'll see y'all sometime this week. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day and great rest of your weekend, man. I'll see y'all later. Peace.